What's up, everybody? Salundia Hammond here, affectionately known as Sue Ham Baby. All right, we're supposed to start this broadcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is now 7:59. I am on early. I'm trying to see if I can share this to my pages. And if I can't, I'll just have to do it when the broadcast is over. But anywho, I'm waiting for you guys to pop on. We got about 30 seconds before we kick this thing off. Tonight, we're continuing our discussion in building how to build a great personal brand so that you can increase profits in your business, right? And we are reading from the book, The Brand Call You by Peter Montoya. The Brand Call You by Peter Montoya. This is, I think, our fourth or our fifth broadcast, and I'm excited about it. We're going to do this Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. until we get through the book and cover everything on how to build a personal brand. If you have missed the last 4 or 5 episodes, you can catch them on YouTube or you can dig through my Facebook channel. In case you're wondering, my name is Salundia Hammond, aka Sue Ham Baby. You're on the broadcast, so it costs you nothing to share it. I'm going to go ahead and ask you right now to go ahead and share this broadcast for me. So when we started it's almost been 2 weeks now, we talked about there are 8 qualities of a strong brand. And those 8 qualities are specialization, distinctiveness, consistency, relatability, leadership, visibility, goodwill, and positivity. Those are the 8 qualities of a strong personal brand. We also said why a strong personal brand is better than a corporate brand. People tend to believe, like, know, and trust people more so than a corporation. All right. Why should you establish a personal brand? Because you want to build influence. You want to increase your reach. You want to put your message out to more people. And if you're in business, you want to increase your profits. And when you have a strong personal brand and people believe in you, trust and believe that will happen. You will increase your reach, increase your influence, and you will increase your profits. Again, if you're just joining, go ahead and share the book. Share the podcast. We are reading from the book, The Brand Call You. And tonight we're going to discuss one of the most important qualities of the 8 qualities of the strong brand, which is visibility. Last night we talked about specialization. Specialization is when you are known for a thing, right? If you are the best hairdresser in town who can do some quick weave or who can slay some waves, you are known as the one who specializes in laying some quick weave, baby, putting some lace front up there. You become known as that. If you're a dentist who does the best veneers, you have specialized in becoming the specialist, the expert in laying the best veneers. Because y'all know some of them veneers be too big, right? It's too big. It doesn't look real. But if you can make that thing look real and you specialize in that, you become an expert, you increase your profits because you increase quality clients. Tonight, we're going to talk about visibility. Visibility of your personal brand. Can we see you? Do people know you exist? Too often, we open up a restaurant, we open up a business, we start a church, we start preaching, we write a book, whatever it is that we do, right? And we want the masses to know about it. We don't tell them. We just open it up and we just assume everybody's going to flock down here and come and patronize us. That is not how it works. You know, Peter Montoya says in the book, A Brand Call You, visibility is more important than ability. Now, I want you to let that sink in. Visibility is more important than ability. See, what that means to me is that you can have all the ability in the world. Like, for example, you could be the best singer in the world, but if nobody knows about you, then you are the world's best kept secret. Now, however, there's a singer that's not quite as good as you, but they have great visibility and he or she is being seen and the world embraces them, embraces their talent, and boom, buys their records. But here you are at home with a better voice, better work ethic, but you have no visibility. So that goes back to visibility is more important than ability. Grant Cardone, someone I've been following for about a decade, says the best known sells the most. It's not the best known product, It's the best known. And that's why building your personal brand is so important. So we're going to go into the quality visibility tonight. And I'm going to tell you how you can become more visible. And I know that these things work. In the book, Peter Montoya lists 21 different channels on how to gain visibility. We're not going to go over all 21 tonight. We're going to break it down. Again, we'll be doing this broadcast Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you miss any of the videos, simply go to my YouTube channel at Sue Ham. Just do me a favor, right? Because I'm taking the time to share this valuable knowledge with you guys. Just share the broadcast. That's all you have to do. Share the broadcast. So let's get into visibility. I want to read from you from page 29. And we're going to discuss a couple things, and I'm going to share some things that I know that work. Page 29 says, your visibility is more important than your ability. I told you it's the truth. Everyone, because we're proud of your talent and skills, will say, hey, you're great. But if no one sees you, then really, has everyone seen you? Your personal brand is your weapon in the visibility battle. It keeps you visible to prospects and constantly reminds them of who you are and what you do. Remember, specialization is who you are and what you do. Visibility is putting that out there and telling them who you are and what you do. That's why it's so important that you constantly promote your brand. Who does that all the time? McDonald's. Who does that all the time? Attorneys, local attorneys on these TV channels. Who does that all the time? Anyone who wants to stay in your brain housing group. That's why it's important you constantly promote your brand. If you're not keeping your brand in front of the members of your target market, they'll assume you're out of business. Or, here's my little tidbit, they won't even know that you're in business because you never did any marketing or branding in the first place. You just opened a business and thought that everybody was just going to come through your doors, or you thought everybody was going to gallop to your website and buy your products and your messages and listen to your services. It's astonishing, though, how people quickly forget about you if you are not consistently promoting yourself. Ability does matter, of course. Once you get the business, your ability to perform and provide value helps keep it and turn it into referrals. But the first thing is you got to get the people in the door. And the way to get the people in the door is through visibility. And then when you get them in the door, right, you're seen and you get them in the door, the way to keep them in the door and the way to multiply your clients is to have excellent ability. Visibility gets prospects in the door. Ability keeps them with you for many years. Like love and marriage, you can't have one without the other. Well, someday, nowadays people do have marriage. They do have it, one without the other. But anyway, this book was written in 2009. And I'm just saying, a lot of the stuff in this book is still relevant today, even with social media. And I think even more so with social media, especially when we start going over the different ways that you can market to keep yourself visible, to keep your personal brand on the minds of people. So we're going to discuss maybe 5 of them tonight. There are 21 different channels. So that's listed in the book, The Brand Call You by Peter Montoya. So number 1, and I'm going to list the advantages and disadvantages that they have listed here in the book. Number 1 is buzz marketing. Buzz marketing involves doing provocative things to create a buzz about yourself in the community, such as supporting a political cause or making a very public donation to a charity. Anything that gets people talking about you that is fair game in buzz marketing. But I don't recommend this channel because it's uncontrollable. Your ability to shape people's perception is quite limited because buzz marketing is very grassroots and tends to take on a life of its own. So here are some of the advantages to buzz marketing. It grows organically on its own when it captures the imagination, and the costs are very, very low. Number 2, a disadvantage to buzz marketing is the impossibility to control it. It's hard to predict the success, and it can have unpredictable consequences. I don't typically use buzz marketing, but that is one channel, one way that you can have your personal brand visible. Let's go to number 2, canvassing. Canvassing means going from door to door. Now, you see a lot of politicians do that. And I know people are like, who does that anymore? No one's going door to door selling Kirby vacuums. No one's going door to door selling pots and stuff anymore. You know, that was a big thing back in the day because there was no internet, right? There was no mobile phones, you know, your picture camera phones to text people and do all kinds of things, or to get on these apps and just reach millions of people at one time. But here's what I want to say before I even go into reading about canvassing. Maybe, as my grandbaby would say it, maybe canvassing would be a great thing again. I know it still is for politics, but maybe it would be a great thing again for your personal brand. And the reason why I say that is because people are bombarded with so many things. There's so many distractions. But if you could canvass and knock on their door, you now have their attention. Just hopefully don't pull out a rifle on you or anything. Here we go. Canvassing means going from door to door. This is something that realtors commonly do, but it can be used by those in other professions as well. There's something very personally appealing about meeting a potential service provider face to face. You get to ask questions and form an impression of his or her manner, clothing, and so on, and you can decide for yourself if you have a comfort level with that person. But canvassing is obviously very time consuming, so I recommend it only for professionals whose business is so predicated on personal contacts and relationships that face-to-face branding is the only way to go. Realtors, midwives, landscapers, contractors, and so on. Also, the more educated and perceived as elite your profession is, the more inappropriate canvassing is. So it's not going to work for everybody. So, you know, if you're an astronaut or an engineer and you're trying to increase your personal brand, going door to door is not going to work out. I would never recommend it for doctors, lawyers, or therapists, as being seen as common would do serious harm to their brands. That said, if you decide to canvass, make sure you have 3 things: time, a great collateral piece as a leave behind, so some type of brochure, something that you can give somebody to look over your content long after you've left, and a brief informal script to start a conversation. And be prepared to have doors closed in your face. It's kind of like telemarketing on the phone, right? Be prepared to have the phone hung up on you. So here are the advantages to canvassing. It provides personal contact with prospects, offers a chance for give and take and direct questions. The disadvantages are it's very, very time consuming. It's inappropriate for some professions. Now let's talk about channel 3. Here's another way to remain visible with your personal brand. It's called client referrals. I love this one. I love client referrals. I'm always happy when people refer me. Word of mouth is some of the best marketing there is. So, you know, at the end of the day, no ad or brochure will keep you in the door with a new prospect faster than a referral. The thumbs up from someone who's used you and experienced your good work is all the endorsement you need to get business. If you have a group of happy clients, it's wise to leverage them and turn them into a referral source. Nothing builds your personal brand better than a great story from someone who likes you, trusts you, and wants to help someone else get to know you. Did you get that? Nothing builds your personal brand better than a great story from someone who likes you, trusts you, and wants to help someone else get to know you. Some professionals get all their new business through referrals. That's how powerful this channel is. You turn your happy customers into an army of unpaid marketers. Come on, somebody. When you do a great job, most people are more than happy to refer you. Matter of fact, they can't even get out the door fast enough before they're calling their friends, their family. They're telling their haters on Facebook all about you, whoever. They're just going to tell everybody about the great service that you have provided. Now, here's what you got to do though. Ask for the referrals. Many professionals don't do this, and it drives me crazy. Clients won't know you need referrals unless you tell them. So ask, and the chances are they'll be more than happy to do it for you. Create a referral program. You need a system to ask for referrals regularly. Give your clients materials that they can use to pass out to friends and family members, and a reward program to thank them. And that reward program could be free services, it could be free tickets to something, it could be money. Whatever it is, just give them something in return for referring your services out. There's a place called America's Home Place. They're a builder here in Florence, South Carolina. And I sat with them and I liked their presentation. And I was looking at their homes that they built, and I was intrigued by it. And so I actually had some people reach out to me on Facebook and say, hey, Sue, do you know any home builders in South Carolina? And I said, I have personally never had a home built here in South Carolina, but I actually met with this builder, American Home Place in Florence, South Carolina. And they seem to be, pretty squared away. So give them a call, check them out, see if they tickle your fancy, and go from there. Well, lo and behold, just from me referring them, I didn't know that there was, something great going to turn out from that. But just from me referring them, the person from Facebook actually fell in love with them, actually having a house built with them. And now America's Home Place is sending me a $500 referral check. And I had no idea. So I said that to say this. If I had known about it before, I would probably be referring them all across the world. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter that I didn't know about the check. What mattered is I liked the fact that they serviced me, let me sit in the office, let me look at different plans. They talked to me. They told me how I could go about getting the financing. It was very comfortable, very great experience. And I felt very good in there. And I felt so good to the point where I referred them. So set up a referral system. Also develop a special customer service program to make sure that referred clients are treated better than gold. Let me tell you something. People want to be acknowledged. People want to be VIP'd. And if you VIP people, VIP them, make them feel really, really, really good, and do it genuinely, be authentic, because you should be excited. You should be ecstatic that someone is referring services to you. Then if you treat them well and let them know that you are really, really thankful and really grateful, listen, they will continue to do it. And even if you don't reward them with money or more services or anything like that, just acknowledge them, let them know, listen, I really appreciate you. My business thrives on referrals, and it's because of you that we are still here. So let's talk about the advantages of client referrals. There's nothing better to create trust in a new prospect than a referral from someone he or she has known for years. And plus, also another advantage is it's cheap. It doesn't cost you much. Here's the disadvantage of client referrals. You have no control of the prospect's clients refer you to or what people say about you. There's sometimes an expectation that you'll treat referrers like the Emperor of Japan, so you can get roped into a service nightmare. All right, so those are the advantages and disadvantages of client referrals. Now let's talk direct mail. I used direct mail when I was campaigning for office. And one thing I can tell you is everybody is checking their mailbox every freaking day. So if you want to get the attention of people, definitely send them something to their mailbox. But it has to be something that's going to attract their eye, something that's going to stand out. And what I have found is two different things before we go into even reading from the book. Two different things stand out with direct mail. One is a personalized letter. People tend to open personalized letters a lot faster because it doesn't look like spam, right? It doesn't look like junk mail. And another thing is a beautiful brochure with beautiful colors. Not brochure, flyer, postcard. It doesn't have to be a brochure. If it looks like it's too much to thumb through, they're going to automatically assume that it's junk mail, that it's classified ads, that it's coupons. And if you're not into coupons, you're just going to throw it straight in the trash like myself. But if it's a flyer, a postcard, one piece of thing that they can hold in their hand, and it has bright, attracting, illuminating colors that bring them in, and it has a message like 3, 4, 5 words on there that really stand out, they're going to look at it. All right, so let's talk about direct mail. Direct mail can be the most strategically important channel for developing your brand. It can also be a money pit that costs you the hair you have left. It all depends on how you use it. Direct mail lets you customize your message and drip a regular stream of information to your prospect mailing list. You can use letters, brochures, postcards, boxes, and other dimensional mailers, newsletters, and other such items. Again, I think that postcards are the best, the flyers, the postcards. Direct mail can work for people in any profession, but there are a few keys to making it cost effective. It's got to be interesting, which is what I just said. Sales letters bore people to tears. They're thrown into the trash. If you're going to send a mailer a month to the people on your list, the message should be personal, varied, and entertaining. Keep people guessing and forget about the hard sell. It's got to be professional and appropriate. It's got to be consistent. It's got to be consistent. If you think that you're just going to send a direct mail once and you're going to capture new clients, it's not going to work. Because again, people are being inundated with so much. I mean, there's so much going on now. We got 3 phones. Everybody got maybe 2 phones. I got 2 phones, 2, 3, 4, 5 phones and a house phone. It's a lot going on. Grandkids, kids, going to school, going to work. So you can't just think that you're going to grab the attention of somebody with one mailer. I mean, let's look at McDonald's. We see commercials all the day long. If you're watching TV, I don't watch TV a whole lot, but the commercials are on all the day long. If you're on social media, people are marketing and dripping in your news feed all the day long, because they realize on average it takes about 7 to 12 times before you really take notice. So you got to be consistent. Now, the book says it takes a consumer 8 to 10 exposures to your message before registering that you're someone he or she might want to contact. Me personally, I think it takes more now, because there's so much going on with all these new creation of apps and so much with the internet. I think it takes even more to get your attention. Also, when you're doing direct mail, it has to be high quality. It has to be targeted and maintained. Know who you're sending it to, because otherwise you're going to be wasting a lot of money. Know who you want to reach. So when I sent my mailers out, when I was running for office, I sent my mailers out to people that I felt would actually go and vote. I'm not going to send it to people who consistently show a record of never voting. If they've never voted, haven't voted in the last 18, 20 years, I wasn't going to send a mailer. I'm going to send a mailer to those voters who I know are going to vote and who I think that are going to vote in my way. So here are the advantages of a direct mail. It gives you a tool to create a regular flow of branding and service information to your entire target market. Here's a disadvantage. It can be expensive and it's frequently misused. So you'll hear plenty of people complaining that direct mail doesn't work, and that's simply because you're misusing it. Because I happen to know, especially in the rural area where I am, that definitely works. And I happen to know that every day people are checking their mailbox, and they're going to continue to check their mailboxes. The only way that's ever going to stop is if we stop distributing mail through the mailbox. Okay? Channel number 5 to get visibility for your personal branding is indoor advertising. Indoor advertising includes things like airport signage, cinema advertising, marquee advertising. I'm not a huge fan of this channel because it doesn't deliver much bang for your buck. You can't target it, and you have no control over who's going to see it. It's basically good for one thing, making your name and face more familiar to the public. But it's the individual professional's version of Budweiser running a Super Bowl ad. Big bucks, so you'll just be on people's lips for 5 seconds. So I don't know. I've never really done the indoor advertising, but I can kind of see where the author of this book is saying. It's like Super Bowl ads. You run it, boom, and you're there for 5 seconds. But after the Super Bowl, they still run the ads, and they're still talked about. I think it just depends on where you're purchasing your indoor advertising, if it's going to be beneficial or not. But here are some of the advantages of purchasing indoor advertising. It can create some public visibility for you. The disadvantage is it's costly and very difficult to target. All right, so that's the first 5 of the 21, and I think we've been going for 22 minutes. That's the first 5 of the 21 channels to make your personal brand visible. So we have listed, now there are 21 ways in the book, we have listed buzz marketing, canvassing, client referrals, direct mail, and indoor advertising for the first 5 of the 21 channels to create visibility for your personal brand. I think these are some great ways. I do know that this works. As we get deeper into the other one picks up with the internet. We'll get started on that tomorrow. I'll actually share with you how me, from a rural area with a lot of trees, a lot of landmass, was able to get visible and be seen and get on BET, get on Bravo TV, get on the Steve Harvey Show twice, and also be in a movie. Also be picked up by different local network television stations to broadcast here in my studio, or to have me come to their studio. So it's all about building the personal brand, using that personal brand, incorporating the qualities, the 8 qualities of that personal brand: specialization, distinctiveness, consistency, relatability, leadership, goodwill, positivity, and the last one, visibility, which we've been talking about tonight. How visible are you? How great are you to your clients? How great are you in the workforce? How good are you with your specialization? Are you considered an expert? Do you deliver in excellence? These things get you noticed. So we've discovered the top 5, not the top 5. We discovered the first 5. We'll go another 5 on tomorrow night. We're here from Monday through Thursday, 8 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Last 2 days I've been running nonstop, man. But I love it. I love what I do, and so I love it. So excuse me if my mind seems to be all over the place, just a little fatigued. But we'll be back Monday through Thursday, we'll be back tomorrow night, which is Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm asking you to please share the broadcast. Please invite more people to come on. We're discussing the brand called You, why it's profitable, why it's necessary for you to build your personal brand. Building your personal brand makes you an influential, powerful person. Influential, powerful person who generates profits and who has an impact on the world. You can use that to inspire and elevate and uplift people. That's why you want to do this. Well, let me say, that's why I want to do this. Not only do I want to make profits, but I want to inspire, impact, and elevate and uplift people all across the world. So I work on my personal brand on a daily. And I wanted to just share some tips with you and hope that you would do the same thing. My name is Solandia Hammond, aka Sue Ham, baby. I'm with SueHam.com. That's SUEHAM.com. And also with MoneyWithRealEstate.com. I'm a real estate investor. I am a writer, an actor, a speaker. And I love what I do. I'm also an educator, not in the schoolhouse, but out here, outside the schoolhouse, outside the church houses. I'm in the streets. I market in the streets. I teach in the streets. I teach on the internet. I teach wherever I can get an audience. I teach wherever I can be visible. I teach through sending mail. I teach through sending text. I teach through sending a phone call. Any way that I can reach the people, that's how I'm going to reach them. So I would love for you guys to go ahead and go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. You can watch the other 5 episodes of Building a Personal Brand, why it's important. The YouTube channel is Sue Ham. Do me a favor, before you disconnect, go ahead and share the broadcast. I'll see you guys tomorrow night, if life lasts, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will pick back up and continue to tell you and help you with the different channels on making sure that you are seen, because the best known is the one that sells the most product. Visibility is more important than ability. In closing, remember to live, love, learn, and laugh. Don't quit. Follow your dreams to success. I'm out, yeah.